The Ravens' playoff hopes hang by a thread after crushing defeat in Kansas City. The Baltimore Ravens' 37-20 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday wasn't just a defeat. It felt like a gut punch to a team already struggling to stay afloat. This wasn't just about losing a game. It was about watching a roster riddled with injuries crumble under pressure, leaving fans and analysts alike wondering if the season is slipping away. For the second consecutive week, the Ravens were outmatched, dropping their record to a troubling 1-3. But the real story lies in the mounting injuries that have decimated the lineup. Key starters exited early, including quarterback Lamar Jackson with a hamstring strain, left tackle Ronnie Stanley with an ankle injury, inside linebacker Roquan Smith also hampered by a hamstring issue, and cornerbacks Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins, sidelined with calf and elbow injuries respectively. The list of sidelined players reads like a Pro Bowl roster, underscoring the severity of the Ravens' health crisis. Here's a snapshot of the injured starters. QB Lamar Jackson, left tackle Ronnie Stanley, DT Nnamdi Madubuike, DE Broderick Washington, NT Travis Jones, OLB Kyle Van Noy, MLB Roquan Smith, CB Nate Wiggins, CB Marlon Humphrey. This injury toll is staggering and has left the Ravens in a precarious position. Experts weigh in. Is the Ravens' season already doomed? After the loss, football analysts took a hard look at Baltimore's chances of clawing their way back into playoff contention. ESPN's Jamison Hensley posed a stark question. Is the Ravens' season over at 1-3? He noted that historically, the Ravens have only been 1-3 twice before, in 2005 and 2015, and both times they failed to make the playoffs. While Lamar Jackson's presence always offers hope, he's led the team to the postseason in every full season he's played. His hamstring injury, which forced him out in the third quarter, complicates matters. Hensley also highlighted the defense's struggles, pointing out that the Ravens have allowed 133 points in just 4 games, the worst start in franchise history. The Athletic's Jeff Zrebiec and Jana Bardal echoed these concerns, acknowledging that while the Ravens might argue it's still early in the season and that their schedule eases up soon, the reality is grim. Jackson's frustration is visible, mistakes are creeping in, and the defense is in disarray. By halftime on Sunday, 6 defensive starters were already sidelined, making any immediate turnaround seem unlikely. USA Today's Joe Rivera didn't mince words either, emphasizing that even before Jackson's injury, the Ravens looked unprepared and far from contenders. He suggested it might be time to sound the alarm bells. Sam Cohn of the Baltimore Sun described the season as on life support, urging fans to brace for more bad news unless the injury situation improves. CBS Sports' Jared Dubin painted a bleak picture of the defense, which has been unable to stop opponents or force turnovers, conceding at least 37 points to every team except the Browns. He noted that the Ravens typically find their defensive rhythm as the season progresses, but right now, the outlook is grim. Former NFL quarterback and CBS Sports analyst Tony Romo warned that the Ravens can't afford many more losses and that the next 2 to 3 weeks are critical. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm concerned right now, he said. Paul Mancano of the Baltimore Banner stressed the importance of Lamar Jackson's health, stating that if Jackson's hamstring keeps him out for multiple weeks, the team might struggle to reach even 2 wins before their Week 7 bye. Even with Jackson back, the defensive woes and injuries remain a massive hurdle. While it's too soon to write off their Super Bowl hopes, Mancano admitted those dreams are looking increasingly distant. On a slightly more optimistic note, the Ringer Steven Ruiz suggested that if the Ravens can survive to their Week 7 bye without falling too far behind in the AFC North, they could still be favorites to win the division. The schedule softens after the next couple of weeks, and rivals like the Steelers and Bengals face their own challenges. However, with Baltimore already 3 games behind in the race for home field advantage due to tiebreaker losses, their playoff path will be tough, if they make it at all. Sports Illustrated's Matt Verderame drew parallels to last season when the Ravens struggled defensively early on but turned things around by adjusting their personnel, notably moving Ardarius Washington to safety alongside Kyle Hamilton. While that turnaround is possible again, the current injury crisis makes it far less likely. The schedule does offer some hope, with 3 consecutive home games against the Texans, Rams, and Bears, followed by road games against the Dolphins, Vikings, and Browns. Chiefs continue to be the Ravens' kryptonite. While the Ravens' defense has been underwhelming, their offense, which entered the game as the league's top scoring unit, also faltered after an initial touchdown drive. Lamar Jackson, who often seems unstoppable, has a particularly tough time against the Chiefs, a team he once called the Ravens' kryptonite. Despite a stellar career record of 71-27 as a starter, Jackson is just 1-6 against Kansas City, including an 0-4 record in Arrowhead. Instead of overcoming this nemesis, the Ravens found themselves frustrated once again. NFL.com's Kevin Patra described how Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo kept Jackson under relentless pressure, using blitzes from all angles and linebackers shadowing him closely to prevent his usual scrambling. After the Ravens' opening drive, the Chiefs allowed only 167 yards over 6 Jackson drives, forcing 2 turnovers and a turnover on downs, while limiting Baltimore to just 6 points. The Chiefs pressured Jackson on nearly half of his dropbacks and sacked him 3 times. They also stifled running back Derrick Henry, holding him to just 42 yards on 8 carries. Pressbox's Bo Smolka pointed out that the Chiefs' defensive strategy mirrored what the Detroit Lions used the previous week, employing a linebacker spy to track Jackson and applying heavy blitz pressure. Smolka warned that this kind of defensive scheme is likely to be a recurring challenge for the Ravens until they figure out how to counter it. Injuries evoke painful memories of 2015. Last season, the Ravens were the healthiest team in the NFL, making this sudden surge of injuries all the more jarring. The current situation brings back memories of the 2015 Ravens, who ended that year with 19 players on injured reserve and a disappointing 5-11 record after starting 0-3. Jeff Zrebiec noted that while it's too early to predict a repeat of that disastrous season, the parallels are hard to ignore, especially since 2015 was the last time before this year that the Ravens found themselves at 1-3. Kyle Hamilton, a beacon of leadership amid the chaos. In the midst of this turmoil, All-Pro safety Kyle Hamilton has emerged as a key leader. When asked about being one of the few healthy defensive starters left, Hamilton humbly knocked on wood, but also embraced the responsibility. Baltimore Banner's Kyle Goon praised Hamilton's leadership and talent, suggesting that if anyone can help the Ravens navigate this crisis, it's him. Goon highlighted Hamilton's maturity and accountability, noting how he even apologized for earlier comments that some fans found off-putting. Hamilton clarified that he meant Ravens fans have been spoiled by years of strong defense and winning teams, and that the current disappointment is understandable. Looking ahead, a season on the brink, the Ravens' loss to the Chiefs wasn't just another defeat. It felt like a tipping point that threatens to unravel their entire season. With injuries piling up and key players sidelined, the team faces an uphill battle to regain footing. In response to the injury crisis, the Ravens recently brought in guard Kenyon Green, a former first-round pick by the Texans, for a tryout, signaling their urgency to find reinforcements. Meanwhile, linebacker Jake Hummel has been stepping up on special teams, showing his commitment by blocking a punt and expressing his willingness to contribute in any way possible. So, what do you think? Is this the beginning of the end for the Ravens' 2025 season? Or can they defy the odds and rally back? How much do injuries dictate a team's fate in today's NFL? And with Lamar Jackson's health in question, is it fair to pin the team's success solely on him? Share your thoughts, and let's get the conversation going, because this Ravens story is far from over, and the debate is just heating up.